wanna hear old Jimmy skin the blues again.
Hello YouTube, and welcome back to Multitool School. This is the Spyderench from Spyderco, and it's one of the most interesting items that I've come across, and I'll try to explain to you why I think it's so interesting. This tool has 4 primary functions. Of course, it has a knife blade that is very easy to open, one-hand opening, just like you would expect from any Spyderco tool. It is, see if I can get that up here. There we go. 440C steel. There we go. Now this blade is, as you can see, is a fully serrated knife blade. And that may not be everybody's favorite choice, but let me tell you, this is one of the sharpest knife blades I've ever seen on a multi-tool. I like it just for that reason. I'm not a big fan of the serrated blade, but this one is really good knife blade. Like I say, it's easy to open, and you have a locking mechanism, and you release the lock right here. Now, that's one of the functions. I said there's 4 primary functions on this device. The second one is a set of pliers. These are not going to be the kind of pliers that you're used to seeing. I would call this a blunt nose or round nose pliers. Now, something nice about this particular item is how wide these pliers open up for work, and you've got almost a full inch of I guess you'd say workable space there with the jaws. Now if you need those jaws to come down smaller, you just line up on a different slot here and then slide it over, and now you can close them all the way like so. But if you need a larger gap, you just line this up right here and let it slide back down into the other notch, and that's using them as pliers. So that's the second function. The third function is going to be swinging this handle or this side of the tool all the way around to the back, and it's going to latch into place right here and lock into position like this. And now you have a handle to work with, and you've got this end of the tool is a crescent wrench. And again, you can get a hold of something you're trying to work on, probably a good ½ inch right there, the jaws of that crescent wrench. So that's the third thing on the Spyderench. Now, I'm going to release this locking mechanism right here so I can swing this portion of the tool back around, and I'm actually going to detach it. I'm going to get it lined up in the right place, and it's going to let me take it apart. I've got two different pieces now, and I have a bit holder right here in the tail end, and there are some bits inside this skeletonized handle. There's 4 bits in there, and the way you get to them is you move this out of the way, and it has a spring on it right here. So I'm going to push this down and out and remove this, and that gives me access to these bits. Now I'll tell you, you have to be a little bit careful right here, because these bits do tend to fall out fairly easily. So you kind of have to watch it. But you can take one of these bits, and these are standard 1/4-inch bits, and put it in this bit holder, and then you've got a bit driver. Now, there's not a magnet inside here to hold that bit, and I have read that there's supposed to be one there, and I guess this particular one that I got just doesn't have the magnet inside there. Now, something interesting is that right here there's a little recess right there. Well, there's a set screw in there that goes down into this chamber that's the bit holder, and you can tighten or loosen that set screw in order to apply some friction, so that when you're putting these bits in here, that will help hold them in place. Now it's kind of funny, because I guess I have finally found a use for this miniature screwdriver on my Leatherman Wave. The Spyderench does not have any attachment on it or anything that would be the right size screwdriver to adjust this. But your Leatherman Wave micro screwdriver works perfectly, and you can adjust that set screw. Now, another interesting thing is that you can actually use, well, you might be able to use these Leatherman flat bits that you're used to using on your Leatherman tools, because they fit into this pretty darn good. There's not any wiggle room, I guess would be the best way to say it. Once they, they're going to fit right into that angle or that corner there. And I think you could probably use this set screw tighten it down just a little bit, and you could use these flat bits in here, in addition to the 4 that come with the Spyderench. Now, in addition to these 4 screwdriver choices, 2 Phillips and 2 flathead, there's also this. It has a smaller Phillips on one end and a smaller plain or flathead screwdriver on this end. And this is the tool or the device that goes onto the Spyderench and goes in this spring here and then fits into this. Now, another thing that I think is just outstanding is this is a diamond coated edge here. This is actually a knife sharpener, and it's really good. You can take this and take any of your knives or tools that need to be sharpened, and you can sharpen it up a little bit. You know, it's a little small. It might be a little awkward to hold on to initially, but what you get is a knife sharpener built right into the multi-tool, and I can't think of a cooler thing to have on a tool that you might be interested in using for a survival kit or something. I'm going to put this back together, put that in the spring, get it back into place. Now, I think the Spyderench is somewhat comparable to a Leatherman Skelletool. It's about the same size. It kind of has that same skeletonized look to it. Even the knife blade looks somewhat similar. It's somewhat comparable. You got the Skelletool and the Spyderench. So that might give you an idea of the size comparison there. This is a very well engineered thing, and it's got 4 basic functions or 4 basic tools: a knife, a round nose pliers, a crescent wrench, plus some bits and a bit driver. Those are the 4 primary functions. Now, it also has this knife sharpener here. I don't know if I would really call that one of the primary functions or not. And of course it has a pocket clip on it. So that is the Spyderco Spyderench, and I'm very impressed with it. Is it the perfect bushcraft multi-tool? Is it perfect for your survival kit? I'm not sure. You just have to determine that for yourself. But I would say that it's certainly one of the top, at the top of the list anyway. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.